We know that our ancient ancestors created some absolutely mind-blowing things. What we still can't figure out is how. These age-old technologies are just as mind-bending to us as the ones we dream about in the future. Somewhere along the timeline, the how behind their genius vanished, lost to time, war, or plain old forgetfulness. And now, all we can do is stare in awe at these relics, trying to reverse engineer the brilliance that built them. In this video, we're diving into 15 of the most abandoned ancient technologies that really exist in our world. Let's start off with number 15, Roman glass kilns. In Israel's Jezreel Valley, archaeologists uncovered the remains of industrial-scale glass kilns dating back over 1,600 years. These kilns, discovered during infrastructure work for a railway project, belong to one of the region's key production centers from the late Roman era. The glassworks operated at temperatures nearing 1,200 degrees Celsius, using kindling in large fireboxes to melt a mix of beach sand and salt into raw glass. This glass was then distributed across the Roman Empire, used in architecture, household items, and decorative art. The scale and precision of the kilns surprised even seasoned researchers. Their structure featured high-temperature chambers and a layout tailored for mass production. Yigal Goran Rosen, head curator at the Israel Antiquities Authority, emphasized the site's importance not just locally, but for understanding ancient trade across the Mediterranean. Chemical analysis shows that many Roman glass objects found across Europe likely originated here. The Jezreel kilns didn't just meet local demand, they helped supply an empire, blending science, craft, and commerce. Number 14. Dazhou rock carvings. Among the countless carvings at Dazhou in China's Chongqing province, one figure doesn't quite fit. Carved during the Song dynasty, the site is filled with Buddhist and Taoist imagery, yet this statue, known as the clairvoyant, draws attention for different reasons. The figure stands upright beside the Jade Emperor, dressed in formal robes and military attire, gripping an object that looks strangely modern. Some say it resembles a telescope, others think it looks like an old communication device. The sculptors didn't leave notes, and no clear explanation exists. The name clairvoyant comes from the claim that this general could see and hear things far beyond normal human range. It might have been a metaphor, or maybe it was taken literally at the time. Either way, the figure doesn't resemble the others carved nearby. It's clean, distinct, and holding something no one can confidently explain. Maybe symbolic, maybe literal. All we know is that it's there, carved in stone, surrounded by religious icons, holding an object nobody can name with certainty. Number trace, Puquio's hydraulic system. In southern Peru, spiraling structures carved into the desert floor connect to a water system that kept ancient people alive through brutal, dry seasons. The system, called the Puquios, is believed to have been created by the Nazca culture, better known for the geoglyphs they left behind. From above, the spirals might look like artwork, but they're surface entrances to deep channels, built to bring underground water up to the surface. These weren't crude ditches, they were designed with layered stonework, connected to aqueducts and reservoirs that allowed control over water movement year-round. Early archaeologists wrongly assumed the system was built by Spanish colonists after their arrival. The idea that the local population had the engineering skill to create something this advanced was dismissed as impossible. But the stonework, the planning, the long-term function, it all belonged to the people who were there before the conquest. The Spanish used it, but they didn't build it. The system's creators understood water management at a level modern engineers still find impressive. Number 12. The Carpow longboat returns to Perth. After more than a year of expert restoration, the Carpow longboat has finally made its return to Perth. This Bronze Age vessel, carved from a single oak trunk around 1000 BCE, was originally discovered along the banks of the River Tay. The boat, believed to be around 30,000 years old, is one of Scotland's oldest surviving watercraft. Its preservation is thanks to the peaty soil of the region, which shielded the wooden structure from decay over millennia. Conservationists used special electric blankets to carefully stabilize the ancient wood, preparing it for its new home in the soon-to-open Perth Museum. The longboat likely served a range of purposes, perhaps for transporting goods, fishing, or even carrying ritual offerings. Its well-crafted design, including footrests for a pilot, offers a rare glimpse into the engineering skills of early societies. Once hidden away, it now stands as one of the museum's centerpiece exhibits, bridging past and present in a city still deeply connected to its waterways. Alright guys, now let's head over to Number 11. Gothic Jewelry. A recent study out of Poland is challenging old assumptions about the Goths. Excavations at a cemetery in Rechlin near Elbląg uncovered more than 3,500 objects, bracelets, clasps, and decorative outfit pieces from the 1st to 4th centuries CE. The jewelry, linked to both the Goths and the Gepids, was crafted from exceptionally pure silver, up to 99% purity, surpassing even modern jewelry standards. Gold artifacts displayed intricate workmanship, including fire gilding, filigree, and granulation techniques commonly associated with Roman workshops. Dr. Magdalena Natuniewicz-Sekuła from the Polish Academy of Sciences led the research which revealed that these so-called barbarian communities had access to sophisticated materials and methods. The high purity and craftsmanship suggest a level of skill and trade far beyond what historians once believed. Whether these materials were obtained through trade, war, or other means, the quality leaves no doubt these were not crude, isolated tribes, but people fully capable of creating elegant, high-status items that rivaled Rome's best. Number 10. Tassili Nestager Cave Art. In the heart of Algeria's Sahara, the cave walls of Tassili Najer are covered in artwork dating back at least 10,000 years, maybe more. These aren't just hunting scenes or daily life sketches. Alongside familiar animals and natural features, there are figures that stand out. Tall, human-shaped beings appear in gear that doesn't match the time period. Helmets, suits, gloves, shapes that resemble modern astronaut gear. Nothing else on those walls feels made up. The mountains, rivers, animals, they're all things the artist would have seen. So why the suits? It's one of the reasons this site gets pulled into debates about ancient contact theories. Whether you believe in extraterrestrial influence or not, the figures are difficult to ignore. The detail, the scale, the intention behind them, it all suggests they meant something. It wasn't random decoration. These images were drawn for a reason, and they've lasted over 10,000 years without giving away whatever that reason was. People argue over interpretation, but nobody questions that the paintings are real, deliberate, and deeply strange. Number 9. Oracle Bones and the $15,000 Challenge. In Anyang, China, the National Museum of Chinese Writing has thrown down a serious challenge: $15,000 to anyone who can decipher a character from a set of ancient oracle bones. These relics, mostly ox shoulder blades and turtle shells, date back over 3,000 years to the Shang dynasty and contain the earliest known form of Chinese script. Originally used for divination, these bones were burned or cracked, then interpreted by fortune tellers. Their inscriptions covered everything from weather predictions to military affairs. Discovered in 1899 by Wang Yirong, nearly 200,000 pieces have since been unearthed, but of the 5,000 characters etched into them, fewer than 1,600 have been cracked. Now, with tools like cloud computing and AI-assisted analysis in play, the museum is calling for fresh eyes and new minds. It's not just about decoding symbols, it's about unlocking the stories, beliefs, and everyday concerns of one of the world's earliest civilizations. Each character solved is a step closer to understanding ancient China in its own voice. Can you crack this puzzle? Well, let us know. Number 8. Greek Fire. The Byzantines didn't need legends. They had Greek fire. First used in 673 CE, this incendiary weapon turned naval battles into chaos. It burned on water, it stuck to skin and sails, and it couldn't be put out with water. Some accounts say it could even burn underwater. Enemy ships stood no chance once it was unleashed. Byzantine ships were equipped with siphons, early flamethrowers, that could blast it straight into enemy fleets. Nothing else like it existed at the time. The formula was kept so secret that even today no one knows exactly how it was made. Historians think it might have contained a mix of sulfur, quicklime, and naphtha, but the full recipe disappeared after the fall of the empire. It wasn't just a weapon, it was a psychological strike, terrifying to witness and impossible to counter. Greek fire wasn't a rumor, it was real, it was used, and it worked. And because the Byzantines never shared how it was made, no one has managed to recreate it since. Number 7. Maya salt workers and the jadeite tool. At the site of Ekwe Nale in southern Belize, archaeologists made a rare find, an ancient tool crafted from translucent jadeite, still embedded in its original rosewood handle. This artifact, unearthed at an underwater salt working site, dates back over 1,000 years to the classic Maya era. While jadeite was often associated with elite items or ritual use, this tool belonged to a salt worker, someone involved in one of the Maya economy's most essential industries. Salt wasn't just for flavor, it was vital for preserving food and could even serve as a form of currency. The presence of such a valuable material in a working-class context suggests the importance of this labor. The wooden handle's preservation is particularly remarkable, given the humid, decay-prone conditions of the rainforest. The site is part of a network of over 100 ancient salt production locations discovered in 2004, many now submerged due to sea level rise. This tool offers a new window into the lives of those whose stories are rarely told because no one knows the truth. Number 6. Quimbaya gold figures. Among the artifacts left behind by the Quimbaya civilization of Colombia are a series of small gold sculptures that continue to draw debate, especially the ones that look nothing like animals or insects. These particular pieces have aerodynamic shapes, wing structures, upright tails, and features that resemble stabilizers. Some look closer to modern aircraft than anything natural. Historians have tried to label them as stylized insects, but the proportions don't match. In the 1990s, researchers built scale models of the figures and proved that they could glide. They weren't just decorative, they had working aerodynamic principles. The Quimbaya were highly skilled with metallurgy, known for shaping gold with exceptional precision, and these figures were likely part of ceremonial or symbolic practices. But the designs raise questions that don't have easy answers. What inspired them? What were they meant to represent? There's no evidence of powered flight in ancient South America, but the sculptures remain. They don't explain themselves. They were made by hand, crafted in gold, and passed down without a single word. Number 5. Larabanga Mosque. In Ghana's northern savanna, the Larabanga Mosque rises in clean, white ridges of mud and timber. It's not just the country's oldest mosque, it's one of the oldest standing mosques in all of West Africa. According to local tradition, it was built in 1421 by a trader named Ayuba. He'd stopped in the area, fallen asleep, and dreamt that he was commanded to build the mosque. When he woke, the foundation had already been laid. The structure was made with local materials, mud walls, thatch, and carved wood beams. Over time, it fell into disrepair. A cement restoration effort in the 1970s made things worse, trapping moisture inside the walls and inviting termites to destroy the interior. A storm finally brought it down. It took years and help from the Ghana Museums and Monuments Board, the World Monuments Fund, and even American Express to bring the mosque back. What now stands is a reconstruction, still used by the local community. It's not a relic on display. It's alive. It's still prayed in. It still matters. Number 4. The oldest lunar calendars in Europe. Roughly 32,000 years ago, long before the first known empires, People in Europe were already tracking the night sky. In caves across France and Germany, archaeologists uncovered carved symbols, lines, crescents, even serpentine patterns etched into bone and rock. These weren't random doodles. They were working lunar calendars, used by hunter-gatherers during the Upper Paleolithic era to mark time. Alexander Marshak, over decades of work, linked these marks to lunar phases and solstice patterns, revealing an early understanding of celestial cycles. These tools weren't grand monuments. They were portable and practical, scratched into antlers, bones, or stones that could be tucked away and carried during long hunts or migrations, and they served a real need. Whether for seasonal tracking or spiritual rites, these calendars show that our ancestors were observant, intentional, and mathematically sharp. They weren't guessing at the stars, they were counting. And they left behind one of humanity's first time-keeping systems, built from survival, precision, and awe. What do you think about? Number 3. Madain Salit al-Hijr. Between Petra and Mecca lies a site that once carried the weight of ambition. Madain Salit, also known as al-Hijr, built by the Nabateans, the same civilization behind Petra, this place was meant to be a second capital. Its tombs are carved directly into sandstone cliffs, over 130 of them, each decorated with detailed facades. There's also a small temple and a few rows of clay dwellings, but something interrupted the plan. After the Romans took over the Nabatean kingdom in 106 CE, trade shifted away from caravan routes and toward seaports. The city never saw completion. The residents left. What was supposed to be a thriving hub now stands still. Structures were halfway built, then abandoned. No dramatic collapse, no battle scars, just a city where people stopped showing up. Despite its size and significance, Madain Salit receives only a fraction of the attention Petra gets. Its dry silence and unfinished corners tell the story of a place with momentum that simply ran out. All that's left is the stone. But this is beautiful. Number 2. Karnak stones. Scattered across fields in Brittany, the Karnak stones stretch over a mile, row after row of granite blocks, each spaced like a forgotten code. There are more than 3,000 of them. They've stood in place for over 6,000 years, but nobody has left a clue about their origin or purpose. They don't align with the solstices. They don't follow the stars. They aren't shaped like animals, gods, or tools. They're just there, silent, exact, and stubborn. The stories built around them range from Roman soldiers turned to stone to pagan rituals punished by divine force. None of that holds up under scrutiny. What does remain is the physical labor it took to set every one of them upright, the planning it would have required, and the sheer effort behind it. No tools have been found. No writing explains them. They don't seem to be tombs or markers. They sit in open space, daring interpretation. That kind of scale isn't done on impulse. Someone wanted them there for a reason we'll likely never recover. Number 1. Qi Lun and the birth of paper. Qi Lun, a court official during China's Eastern Han Dynasty, revolutionized how humanity records thought. While primitive forms of paper existed before him, it was his method created in 105 CE that truly changed everything. Instead of carving into bamboo or writing on wooden slips, Qi Lun's recipe used a mix of tree bark, hemp, rags, and even fishing nets, pulped into a smoother, more practical writing surface. Born in modern-day Liang, Hunan, he rose through the imperial court, eventually overseeing palace weapon and instrument production. But his breakthrough in papermaking earned him wealth, praise, and a place in global history, even if the West largely overlooks him. His method spread quickly across Asia and later the world, laying the foundation for literacy as we know it. Today, Liang remains a hub for papermaking, and China's National Museum of Chinese Writing proudly honors his legacy. Qi Lun may be little known outside Asia, but the world quite literally writes because of him. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon in the next one.